Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to give you guys some help with some of these physics problems. So this first page here is called Speedy Journey. Now this is a distance versus time graph. And you'll notice here there's some questions at the bottom. There's two different cars. You have distance on the side in kilometers and time in hours. It says, how far did car A travel before it met car B? So you come up here, here's where they intersect right there. And at that distance, it would be 40. Now this is a distance, so this is kilometers. So we're not going to do all of these, but I thought we could go do number 3. It said, how far did the cars travel at the same speed? So most of the time, the slope of the line is also the speed. So this is distance divided by time. So they have to be equal. So the speed, where they're the same, is here and then up there. So if you were looking, they travel from 40 to 80, which is 40 kilometers, and then it says how long did it take them to do that. So between 0.4 and 0.5, you're in here, 0.6, this is 0.5, and then it ended at 1.5. Those are hours, so this took 1 hour. So they traveled, the distance was 40 kilometers. And they were actually traveling at 40 kilometers per hour there. How long did it take both cars to get to point C? Well, you start at 0, end at 1.5, so it's just 1.5. Which car had constant speed? Constant speed means that it didn't change its velocity. And then what were the speeds of the other car? I helped you with the one just a second ago. So the one, you would take the 40 kilometers, and it did it in 0.5 hours. Well, 0.5, it means you take it times 2. It was actually traveling at 80 kilometers per hour for a short period of time. These here are relationships. Most of the time you don't want to use the word both, but you do want to use things like the definitions in them. So like this one's really easy. So speed is distance divided by time. That relates all of the words in that same thing. Okay, now this one's kind of fun. So a snail moves at an average speed of 5 centimeters per minute. They're slow. Individual snails, however, move at a somewhat faster or slower speeds. To prove this point, 3 snails decide to have a race. They agree to race the length of a meter stick from 0 to 100 centimeters. They line up on the meter stick from east to west on a smooth patch of grass. At the finish line, they place some tasty lettuce leaves for the winning snail to eat. So if you look here, it says determine the distance each snail traveled between 10:05 and 10:10. Well, there's a picture here. This is 10:05, this is 10:10. So when you do this, I just draw a line down. So I would say that this one's in here. So the first snail number 1 went from 24 to 44. Well, 44 minus 24 is 20 centimeters. Yeah, snail number 2 went from 30 to 60. That's 30 centimeters. And it says the average speed. Well, you know it took 5 minutes because it went from 10:05 to 10:10. So if you take 20 centimeters divided by 5 minutes, when you have to write out minutes too, because you want to be careful with this, it gives you 4 centimeters per minute. You can't just write m because m technically means meters. So number 2, it went 30 centimeters in 5 minutes. Well, 30 divided by 5 is 6 centimeters per minute. So we know this was 4. It says, what was each snail's velocity during this period? Well, here's a compass. They were heading from west to east, so you'd have to write east to make it a velocity. All right, so we'll do just a couple of these. It says a jogger runs 1,000 meters in 250 seconds. What was his speed? Well, this is one we can set up really easy. 1,000 meters divided by 250 seconds. Your speed will be in meters per second, which is a nice unit to have. Well, how many times does that go into there? 4. A space shuttle travels in orbit at, so in number 2, we know the speed is 21,000 kilometers per hour. How far will it travel after the time is 5 hours? So if we look here, distance, speed is distance divided by time. Because you multiply this side by time, you got to do that to this side. So distance is time by speed. So it becomes 5 hours times 21,000 kilometers per hour. And you should get 105,000 meters. All right. So I hope this helps. I tried to make this as very specific to your work. Make sure you guys are working them out together on paper first. Show me your work. And until next time, I'll see you. Be good, be safe.